Metroid Prime has been on hiatus for a while now. How long has it been? Let's just check here. 10 years! Wow, that really stinks. Well, thankfully, Metroid Prime 4 is on its way, and it's probably the game I'm most excited for in the Switch's future. At least it's been announced so far. Of course, once we learn about Animal Crossing Amiibo Fest 2, that will become the most anticipated, but that might be a bit yet. Metroid Prime 4 was probably the biggest announcement at a great E3, and just showing this, yes, this picture that shows literally nothing, was enough to make people freak out. Why are people so into this series, and what's in store for its next entry? Hello all 11 of you, I'm Redkwan, and here are my Metroid Prime 4 predictions. Also, I'm kinda sick, but I wanted to get this out, so it's too bad for me, I guess. I'm just being completely honest here. I haven't exactly played that much Metroid. I've played the first game on the GameCube and Super Metroid, but beyond that I'm pretty oblivious to the story. From what I've played though, I don't think Metroid is really a story-focused series anyway. Clearly. So I'm going to touch on a few different things here. I'm going to start out with major game changes, then I'm going to go into general gameplay improvements, and eventually it's just going to fall into wild speculation because I need to fill 5 minutes somehow, right? Starting off here with general improvements, I think there's a lot to talk about. For one, seeing as there hasn't been a Metroid game since smartphones came out, yeah, chew on that. There are sure to be plenty of changes. Metroid games have always looked good for their systems, and I think this game will be no different. But just imagining the step up is crazy. Another limitation in technology at the time of the release was scope. The Wii just couldn't handle vast worlds or boatloads of enemies. I'm no hardware engineer, but I'm pretty sure the Switch is a bit more powerful than the Wii. I don't know if an expansive or open world Metroid will happen, but it theoretically could. I'm sure at the very least the Metroid Prime 4 will have more to its world and a more sophisticated imagining of the series. Building off that, what about gameplay? The Prime games on the GameCube used a single stick and a lock-on system, and Prime 3 and the trilogy on the Wii used pointer controls. And I don't think either of those will be making a return for Prime 4. I would have to imagine that a twin-stick shooter is the next step, but with Nintendo you just don't really know, do ya? I brought up that the game could in theory be open world, and given that Nintendo has had this long to think about things, there are probably some major changes to the gameplay. But honestly, I don't think that the Metroid Prime formula meshes that well with the open world style. Metroid Prime games give you a world to explore, yes, and the progression isn't linear, yes. But the world is hardly open, and it's the limited space that defines what the game is. If you gave people an open world to explore, the whole aspect of retracing your steps through corridors and finding hidden secrets you can only now access in areas you had already gone to doesn't really work. Either Metroid would have to change to fit an open world game, or we'd get a jumbled mess. And because I can't see a huge change in the well-established series, and because the latter has never, ever happened, I can't imagine it to be an open world. As for changes in gameplay, I think that Nintendo's changes to Zelda and Mario give us some indication. Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey both took ideas in older games, the original Legend of Zelda and the early 3D Marios, and made them bigger and better. I think Metroid will do the same. I can't say for sure, but I don't think Metroid has evolved as much as Mario and Zelda over the years. But I think that Metroid will get some old favorite concepts, a bigger world, and a gameplay-focused experience. Well, now that the actual predictions have gone as far as I can take them, it's on to wild speculation. What power-ups will be added? I have absolutely no clue, so I'll just make up a bunch. There will be a morph ball that can split in 2 pieces to get through small areas, and there will be a gun attachment that shoots wind to blow stuff down. But what happens to Samus when she gets split in half? Don't think about it too much. No, those probably won't and probably shouldn't happen, but I think it might be cool. It seems like Nintendo has been taking a lot more gameplay-focused approach to video games recently, which has worked out really well for Zelda and Mario, but I would honestly prefer Metroid to have some great cinematic moments worked in there as well. It doesn't have to be a crazy story or anything, I just want the experience to feel epic. With this whole bigger and better thing, and the huge added potential of newer hardware, it would be awesome if Samus visited multiple planets. It probably won't happen, but I think a solar system amount of worlds in Metroid Prime 4 that you need to fly between would be really cool. Hugely impractical and probably not a good idea in practice, but just imagine. I don't really know what direction Nintendo will take this game. Will they stick to the way the other games have been made because it has been so long that fans just want more of it? Or will the long hiatus make the game more unique? I don't know. Go ask Nintendo of America's very own Reggie Fils-Aimé. He'd probably know. So Metroid Prime 4, I'm super excited, and I'm sure many others are too. I think it could end up coming out sooner than people are expecting, and I think it will be very exciting. There's so much we don't know yet, and that's pretty exciting in itself. But I think that whatever this game ends up being like, it will be great. What do you think about Metroid Prime 4? Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will it be happy? Will it be sad? Let me know if you want to. Otherwise, well, I'll just be a bit less happy. Anyways, I'm Redkwan, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.